Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Dungeon Run episode. This time, recording is a little bit differently. I am recording in post after I already recorded for the dungeon. And the reason for that is because I think it's just going to be better quality because it is harder to focus on the dungeon while speaking, even if it is maybe more interactive to some degree. I think this is still going to be easier to do and is more like what I was trying to base this off on anyway, since this whole series is kind of inspired by a Final Fantasy content creator that did a similar thing for Daily Roulettes. Um, Note that for this video, I'm just going to be doing Goblin Lair Master Mode 1. And for those who are not aware, Master Mode is out. These are basically the hardest versions of the 6 dungeons that were already in the game. And they have, well, in one, for one, the dungeons are just dramatically bigger. But not only that, there's more to do in the dungeons, and the boss fights themselves are also harder. So the monster pulls are harder, the dungeon boss is harder, usually not as much though, compared to the actual dungeon itself. Because again, like this whole room never existed in the original. If you run this dungeon on like normal or hard, you would never see this room. You would never see this area. I kind of wish it wasn't like that. Like Master Mode dungeons, actually, funnily enough, feel more like what the dungeon should have been. And so, but it is what it is, I guess, in that regard. But one of the things as well is, compared to my previous videos, right, is usually I would do all 3 dungeons, or at least 3 of them. And in this case, I'm only doing 1. And the reason for that is because Master Mode is definitely hard. It's hard for, I feel like, maybe the average player. And so they can take a very long time. And the second dungeon after this would have been Tina's Mine Realm. And oh my goodness, that dungeon on Master Mode is a nightmare. I will eventually record a video for that one, but I am not looking forward to that. That is one of the ones where I would always want to be in a pre-made group, if I'm being honest, even for Master Mode 1, which you can queue into. I just would not. It's just, I don't know. There's something about the human psyche on the final boss facing Tina of making the same mistake like 3 or 4 times in a row and then immediately wiping the party, respawning, and not even less than a second immediately pulling the boss again, no questions asked, to make the same exact mistake again. I don't understand how those people do that. Like, I mean, I guess I kind of do because no, I don't know. I don't, because I think like the first or second time, if you know what the mistake is and you just keep making it, like I could kind of see how it's like, okay, just pull. I know what it is. I just keep messing it up and I know what I'm supposed to do. But like these people are messing it up like 4 or 5 times and like they just need to ask questions. Like literally, and I say this even when I do like hard content with other people, like just ask questions. If people are getting angry and upset with you because you're asking questions, those are bad people. I'm just gonna say it. Like those are bad people. If you are asking questions about how to do something to clarify a mechanic or something in master mode, or figure out why something is acting the way it does, clarify. Like I'd rather you not be hesitant at all, or be as little hesitant as possible when dealing with a mechanic. Like I would love to explain all the ins and outs, at least to what I'm available or able to do, because obviously I don't know everything about how all the mechanics work. I just have some ideas and concepts that seem to be working so far. But like literally, like just ask, and I feel like most of these pug parties would be a lot better as a result. But it is what it is. But the Goblin Lair dungeon, for the most part, actually went pretty well. I don't think we ran into too many issues until we actually got to the end, and then things got a little bit hectic. As one of the other things that we'll see in the boss room is that if you die, like in hard mode, you can only be revived by candies, or Arona, but I don't think any of us had Arona in this group. And in master mode, you can only be revived by candies once. I believe in hard mode you could do it up to 3 times. I don't remember if there was a full limit, but I think it was 3 times. In master mode, you can only revive once. So ideally, just don't die. And also, there's like some mechanics where if you die anyway, it might actually kill everyone else. So it's just really not worth it. Also, the pathing here. So this got really tricky here. I think some people got left behind try to follow your tank as much as possible. If the tank is not near you, you are probably going to die. Again, there's a Trinity system for the reason, and that's because the tanks are really the only ones that can take these enemies. Like, you're going to see both the Frost Mage and one of the Storm Blades just get absolutely deleted. They're both dead, and again, when anyone dies, it adds, what is that, 5 seconds? Okay, I thought it was 15 seconds. It's 5 seconds for each death. And the longer it takes to clear, the less master score you get. And this is for each master mode difficulty or level. Also, these crabs were so annoying, or the spider crabs, arachna crab. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah, they were so annoying. I don't even know what I was getting hit by, but they were just targeting me. I think I ended up dodging one by accident. So that was kind of funny. Yeah, right there, I just dodged that by accident. Also, if you see that laser or the purple beam that's connecting you to someone else, in order to resolve it, although I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what it does. I think it's supposed to give you weakness, but it doesn't seem to do damage. I think it just maybe makes your damage output worse, but to resolve it, you need to get close to the person you're connected to. And I think it can occur during any time in the dungeon. I'm not sure about at the final boss, but I'm pretty sure it can happen at any time in the dungeon. I feel like I've seen it happen in the final boss as well, but yeah, if you see that there's a purple beam between you and someone else, try to get close to them. It is a little bit opposite of what I would usually do in Final Fantasy, because it looks like a beam that you'd want to break by running away from them, but in this case, you actually want to get close to them. And that can spawn in any of the 3 dungeons that are currently in the game right now. But here we go, going into the final boss, and boy, this was... things were actually good at the start, but it just got really tricky towards the end, because I think a lot of people were not ready for some of the mechanics. Again, they are a little bit harder. Things hit harder. The barrier around the boss during the shield mechanic is definitely like... It's the gap in it is smaller. So the angles are a little bit more tricky. And when you use the shield here, it'll be quite shortly. There's no guideline anymore. So when you activate the shield, you won't have a guide for it. You'll just have the normal arrow that points out. So you do have to be a little bit better. Also, try to find the safe spot. These goblins hit hard if they run into you. You can see the other Stormblade took like 75% of their HP. So watch out for that. But yeah, you're going to see here, another thing as well, is that the shield will break after it bounces the ball. So in hard mode and normal mode, you could actually have one person do both ball bounces. You can still do that, but it's a lot more tricky because you actually have to pick up a new shield when you bounce the ball, because your shield will fully disappear. Whereas in hard and normal mode, you could use it again. And again, ideally, you want the tank and healer to be doing it so that the DPS can continue doing the DPS. Also, you could see the purple laser between the Ice Mage and someone else. They're probably not going to get close to each other, but it did go away anyway. So, I don't know. I think eventually that beam goes away. This phase also, it's the same thing as it is in normal mode and hard mode, but people just, I don't know, I think they're so used to having dodge. I mean, you're going to see so many people get hit by this. I think all of the DPS get hit by it once. And you want to be careful because you can get wombo comboed. Like, you really can get wombo comboed because you have no dodge, and I think there is like an air tech state that you can go into, but that requires the dodge button. So if you have no dodge, you can't air tech. So you can get like absolutely wombo comboed. Also, if there's a tank buster, don't get near the tank. Someone's about to die here. You see that red circle on the tank, and boom, there goes the Stormblade. That's one down on a DPS check part of the map, and or of the boss fight, and that's not great. I'm gonna try and disconnect the laser by getting close. I guess disconnect isn't really the proper word to use there, but again, try to get into the safe spot, and boom, another one goes down, and then right into the spread markers, or kind of a spread. Also tank buster at the same time. That was nasty. I actually did not know that that could happen at the same time, but there was a red circle on them. This barrier position is pretty wild, by the way. This one's fully directly behind the boss. So it's aiming at me, and I just angle it off as close to it as I could get so that they don't have to do like a really sharp angle, but you're still going to have to get a pretty good angle. Again, if it hits the barrier as well, it can kill the whole party. So you really want to make sure you hit the opening in it. But we're getting pretty low on the boss here, so overall we're still looking good. Enrage is less than halfway, but I think we're still going to kill it. I'm connected via laser. They broke it though, thankfully. But I think we're going to lose someone to another tank buster. There's a tank buster. Let's see. And boom, there goes the... Was it the Frost Mage? Oh, no, it was the Stormblade that died there because the Frost Mage was already dead. Yeah, so again, not ideal, but boss is low. It's really just this DPS check, which unfortunately we weren't going to make. But it was okay because as long as we survived, then we would be able to get through to the end. So I think we just focused on killing one of them just to have at least one shield. Again, there is always a third shield that drops. I ulted here because I wasn't even sure if the safe spot was there. And then eventually we killed it right about here. And then I'm going to do this one trick where I swapped to my Shield Knight so that I can potentially try and get Shield Knight equipment. Which I did, and I got the shoes, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, that was about it for this run. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next episode. Thanks for watching.